Hi, Lady Chairwoman. Hi, it's Aussie. How you doing? Good, thank you. Good. Now, look, I just wanted to let you know that the transfer of Dominguez to Real Madrid has officially gone through. I suppose it is a bit of an honour, isn't it, to sell to such a big club, but I would have liked to have kept him. That's right, $5 million now, and then 50% of any future fee as well. Yeah, of course, he is staying on loan this year, absolutely. Now, listen, the reason that I'm calling is that I was kind of hoping we could reinvest that money into our training facilities. Oh, that's excellent. I'm glad you agree. And what about our youth facilities as well? That's right, the youth is the future. I'm glad you see things my way. And I could also do with a bit of an upgrade to my data analysis center. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That's very, very generous of you, Madam Chairlady. Fantastic. All right, thank you. I'll speak to you soon. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 47 of our Hearts of Midlothian save, our bid to take the club to the top of Scottish football. And as you've just heard, we've spent some money. We've got Dominguez. The Dominguez sale has gone through. We do have him on loan for the rest of the year, but we've upgrading some facilities. 250 grand on data analysis facilities. Just under 5 million on the senior team club facilities, and the youth facilities is just over 5 million. So we basically spent double what we got in on Dominguez on facilities. There we go. It is what it is. Hopefully, we'll see a benefit from that. We have the money right now to do that anyway. Hopefully, if we go on and make the group stage of this Europa League, then we should be able to do it without any sort of problem. And that will essentially, I'm assuming what that will do is basically give us state-of-the-art facilities. Because right now we're excellent. So I don't know if there's an exceptional before state-of-the-art, but it's got to be getting up there. The data analysis facilities needed an upgrade. In any case, you can see our youth stuff is perfect as it is anyway. So we could really start and put ourselves in a good off-field position to start and challenge the Glasgow club, specifically Celtic. But you can see here too, the stadium expansion has been completed. So today's game will be the first game at the expanded Tynecastle. Now, what's happened since last episode? I hear you say we've had just the one game in the Betfred Cup, the second round, and it was an absolutely dominant performance in the end against Dunfermline. They're a championship club. They actually took the lead. We were 1-0 down on this one. Then Ewan Henderson got a double, Innes Cameron got a double, and Colin McNeil got his first for the club as well. You can see we definitely deserved to win the game. We were the better team all round. We'll put it down a bit of a slow start, but it was McNeil who got a debut in this one. One of our young strikers who we signed from St Mirren, I think it was. One of our youngsters, Mark Kane, got a debut in this one, as did one of our young right backs, Kieran Lang. And there might have been one or two others here as well. Is there anybody in the starting lineup who gave a debut to? Oh yeah, and McIntosh, one of our young left backs. He also got a debut in this one. So, and now the goalkeeper as well, who we can play in cup games. So we gave him a debut as well, and he did okay. Still looking to loan him out because we can't use him in league games because he doesn't have a work permit because he's Polish. Anyway, let's not go over that again. But that's how things left off. And today it's a double header against Hadjuk Split of Croatia in the last qualifying round of the Europa League. Now, can you imagine if we went out to them having beaten Borussia Mönchengladbach last time out? That would be an absolute disaster, wouldn't it? We'll have a look at the league table, even though it doesn't really mean too much for this episode because we're not playing in the league. There'll be the one game in between against Hibs. You can see it's not great. We don't want to dwell on the league too much. Right now, it is all about this. It's all about getting into the Europa League group stage. And you can see the quarterfinals of the Betfred Cup. We're at home to Aberdeen in that one as well. So let's have a look at what we're doing against Hadjuk Split here. If we have a look about what we expect from them, we are the favourites, so they are in good form. But I suspect that is just Europa League form because we don't have the Croatian League loaded up. So we don't have too much information on them. We're expecting them, according to the scouts, they're going to sort of, instead of a DM, they're going to play number 10. So that's kind of what we're expecting. You can see they do tend to go through the middle a little bit more, but they're fairly evenly spread. So we'll see how we go here. It's a home leg first, so we want to try and just keep a clean sheet if we can and go from there. So this is the team. It's Teddy Smith in goal, and we're going to go with Taylor again. He's been doing a good job playing on support, so we're going to stick with him. O'Connor, Coping, and Johnson as a back four. Smalley as the anchor man. Cochrane and Turnbull in midfield. Jones and Ryan Glover comes in for Sean Clare, who hasn't had a good start to the year, and Uche, he continues up top because, let's face it, who else is going to score the goals? So here we go there. We actually got it wrong with the scouts. They're playing the same way as we are. Now, we do have Hartford on the bench, so we can put in number 10 if we need to later on. I do, home leg, I like to try and keep a clean sheet here if we at all can. I expect to pick off where they left off last time. All right, let's go with that. Let's go with a little bit of maybe passionate, we have faith, and just see what we can do here. I'm absolutely terrified that having beaten Borussia Mönchengladbach were going to go out to Hadjuk Split. But hopefully that's not the case. So here we are. It's a new expanded Tynecastle. Looks very similar to the old Tynecastle, if I'm being honest. But there we go. Hopefully we'll get a sellout. We'll get a little bit of extra cash in the bank as well from that. It's not ideal. Now, when they did upgrade it, they did say that Tynecastle can be expanded up to 25,000, which makes me think... Oh, there's a good ball in back post. It's Curtis Jones. Oh, he snuck it in. It snuck it in 2 minutes in. And Curtis Jones, he's not bad from the air from a narrow angle, is he? He did that twice against Mönchengladbach from tight angles, although that was with his head. I think he nippled it in last time, didn't he? Right off the chest. But this decent ball in from Harry Cochrane. It looked like there was nothing on and just pulls off his man, and that is questionable goalkeeping at best, but a decent header from Curtis Jones. Excellent stuff. Was it offside? I mean, it wasn't because it's been given. Yeah, it's close, but it's onside. And they come straight back. Now, of course, the main thing here is we just don't want to concede a goal. I mean, I would take a nil, so the reverse of away from home. A 0-0 is better than a 1-1. So having got the goal, what we really don't want to do now is go and fall asleep off the kickoff and let them straight back into this game with the away goal. Come on, boys. Come on. Keep your concentration. Keep your shape. Keep your shape. Can we nick it somewhere here? Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. They passed a good tackle from Coping. Is it? All right, here we go. We've launched it early. There's no Uche up there, though. He should pick that up. No. Oh, yes, he has. He's done really well. Here goes Curtis Jones again. Glover should be in the vicinity. He does find him. Glover! Ryan Glover makes it 2-0 up in 3 minutes. This is absolutely sensational. We'll demand a little bit more. But that we couldn't have asked for a better start here, could we? Uche did so well. He won it. He won the ball twice there. That was fantastic strength. We know he's got strength. He's up on his feet. Look at that. He could easily have got the goal himself. But there we go. Glover tucks away his first goal for Hearts. What a signing he's looking like all of a sudden here. He's had a really couple of good games. Some assists, some goals now as well. Excellent stuff. 2 shots, 2 goals. That is amazing. What a start. Come on, boys. Let's wait and see for after this highlight here. Taylor with a throw-in for O'Connor. What's he going to do here? Back up there for Taylor. Don't be afraid to use the flanks here, boys. We've got a whole right side of the pitch here. Turnbull. Turns to find Smalley. Smalley, look at the right side. There's got to be space out here, guys. There's got to be space. Coping, use it, mate. There we go. Nice ball in there for Jones. What can Jones do? He's got runners forward. It's Uche. Oh, it's 3-0. And group stage, here we come. Surely. Now, only his second goal of the year for Uche. A nice little through ball from Curtis Jones, who is increasingly looking like... Well, I mean, we're not missing the Wizard, are we? And that is saying something, because the Wizard was absolutely sensational for us last year. But good finish from Uche, isn't it? Across the goalkeeper. But yeah, Curtis Jones, let me know what you think in the comments. But Curtis Jones is just slotting right in there like he was been here all his life. So that is excellent stuff. Let's keep going with the demand more here. Harry Cochrane, what can he do? Back for O'Connor. I mean, the thing with the 3-goal lead is that we can almost afford to ship an away goal. We still have that 2-goal buffer, and it shouldn't hurt us too much. Jones dinks it in. Oh, it's Glover again! It's 4-0 after 30 minutes. Oh, here we are looking good. All of a sudden, we are looking good. Now, of course, we did this in the qualifying for the group stage last year. Granted, we didn't beat somebody of the quality of Borussia Mönchengladbach in the build-up, but we saw what happened when we got to the group stage. Really good finish again from Glover, wasn't it? And we really struggled against teams of Mönchengladbach's sort of stature, I guess. So you do wonder with this DM formation if perhaps in Europe this is going to serve us. This is going to serve us well. It would be an absolute nightmare if we didn't qualify the group from here. There's a decent ball. Jones is there. Can he find Uche on the pullback? It's there. Oh, it's Glover again. It's an own goal, or is it Glover? I don't know. It's an own goal, but it's 5-0. 30 minutes in. And this is getting embarrassing. Referee, stop the fight. They've thrown their towel in. It was a decent ball, wasn't it? Just, yeah, well, didn't quite find anybody first time of asking, and the defender didn't really have... Maybe his best option was trying to shield it so that Glover couldn't get to it, and just sort of let it run. But not everybody's as talented as I. That would be a big ask and a big risk as well, trying to shield it past an attacker in that sort of position. You really do have to make a play at it, don't you? Can we either get to that? Oh, Taylor, not quite. Come on, boys. Let's keep our heads here. Let's not give them a goal. Let's really embarrass them. Smalley heads it on. we're not going to quite get that. This is a little bit of sustained pressure now for them. Long ball forward. It's in behind. Oh, it's a good finish. How's he got it in from there? We might just need to throw out a concentrate. I think we have just let our standard slip just a little bit there, but I'm not quite sure. It was Parnell Johnson. I'm not quite sure. I mean, you've got to look at Teddy Smith there, don't you? I'm not going to blame Johnson for that because he's done pretty much everything right. He stayed goal side. Hasn't let. I mean, it looks like the game's given him the mistake on that one, but that's the keeper's got to do better from that angle, surely. All right, come on, let's get back on this, boys. Let's get back on this. Cochrane. Oh, I thought he was going to lose that there. In for Glover on a hat trick. Oh, Ryan Glover straight back on it. It's 6-1, and this is just absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. As I say, hadn't scored a goal for the club before today. Now he's got 3. It was a nice little build-up. We can get rid of Johnson there. Nice first-time touch, second-time touch, and just had the goalkeeper going the wrong way, didn't he? Maybe he was a little bit screened by the defence as well. But the defence has got to do better there, closing him down, doesn't he? All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this kind of kills the second leg, doesn't it? Do we now I wonder, do we do the Edinburgh Derby? Because this is essentially dead, isn't it? We'll have the second half to think about. I wish I could do sort of like an online poll, like what would you like to see here? Don't get complacent, boys. Don't get complacent. The other thing we can do is if we could put out like a second string team, and that way we can have a look at some of the other players. Maybe we'll do that. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Let me know in the comments, sort of for future reference. I mean, we're not going to have qualifying now till next year, and hopefully if we come second in the league, we'll either, or first or second in the league, we will just go straight into a group stage. Now, anyway, I tell you what, Teddy Smith not covering himself in glory here, I'm going to say. Let's give him some praise. We did tell them at halftime not to get complacent, so we'll just remind them that they are playing well. Is there anything we want to change here? I don't necessarily think there is. I think the players on the bench, most of them I'm happy to keep fresh for the next game. The one thing we might do is we might take Uche off for Brophy. Ideally, I think we'd like to keep Uche fresh-ish for the Hibs game. Then he obviously can take the second leg off. Johnson with a throw in there for Smalley. For Johnson, dinks it in back post. Glover's there again. Oh, Glover's there again. He's got 4. What a game from Ryan Glover. A decent cross in from Darnell Johnson, sorry. I don't even know what to say to this. I did not expect 7-1. I really, really didn't. On our day, aren't we a team? Again, decent header from a tight angle, but we've got to ask questions of the goalkeeper. I start to wonder now, what is the record for most goals in a game in Europa League? Because, I mean, it's unlikely to be 4, but if he was to get a 5th, that's got to be in the conversation, doesn't it? Oh, good tackle from Taylor. We are up for this, aren't we? Oh, it's not the best pass. He's under pressure. Maybe needed just a little ball inside there. Coping's done excellent. Oh, this is just so good. Here goes Glover again. Shoot! Oh, he's lost out there. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence. We might need to give it a concentrate or a demand more here. Can we do it now? I think I just gave them a shout, didn't I? Keep your heads here, boys. Keep your heads. Don't let him go too far. Teddy Smith is there. It's easy. It's easy. It's 7-1. What a performance this has been. There's nobody else on the bench, really, that I want to bring on. I do wonder now if we should have taken Darnell Johnson off and kept him fresh for... is that going to be a red? That is a red. I tell you what, that looked a little harsh. But a 2-footed lunge, and they're just having a nightmare, aren't they? We go to Croatia essentially through. We should be able to do a group stage. I don't know when the group stage draw is, but it should be after the second leg, shouldn't it? So we might even be able to get that done this episode. Here goes Turnbull. Oh, hey, it's number 8. It's number 8. And all of a sudden, with a couple of minutes to go here, could we get 10? It's unlikely. We need to... I'll tell you what, we got, 3 goals in the first 5 minutes, so it's still time for it. Good ball in from Taylor, headed away. Davy Turnbull's a lot to do here. Goes past one man, opens up, and again, the goalkeeper's got questions to answer, but that's not for us to worry about. What a performance. What a performance. 8-1 in a European tie, and it's not a first round qualifying tie either. This is, to get into the group stage, and we have absolutely destroyed them. Absolutely destroyed them. Can we get 9? Shoot, Harry Cochrane. He goes wide. I don't think we're going to get a chance to get another shot in here, are we? Oh, it's there! Oh, Brophy! Almost a chance for 9, just maybe hesitated ever so slightly, but look at that. That's just as expert finishing, isn't it, really? I mean, it wasn't that much of a one-sided game according to the match stats, but look at those player ratings. Those player ratings tell an absolute story, don't they? It's going to have to be an assertive. Do not get complacent, boys. So here we go. Look at this. We go to all-time records. Highest scoring match, 8-1, our win over Hadjuk Split. I'm not sure how that's the highest scoring match if there's a 14-0 is the biggest ever win, but we'll take it. Oh, is it modern day? No. Anyway. We're in there. We're in the record book, so we will take it. Maybe it's got to have both teams have scored for that. But there we go. Hearts, simply great. Love a good pun. We'll take that. I tell you what, Ryan Glover, I didn't know he had that sort of performance in him. That was absolutely sensational. Guys, wait right there. We'll be back for the second leg and somewhat of a rotated squad. Alright, welcome back. It is time to wrap up this second leg, and then of course we'll do the draw for the group stage as well, which is why I did end up going with this game, because the draw comes pretty much straight afterwards. So we're 8-1 up. It should be a walk in the park. Now there is the one game to catch you up on, and it went pretty well. 2-0 away to Hibs. We'll take that and run, won't we? We controlled the game. Claire got a goal as Nuche doubled it to lead just before half-time. You can see it was a relatively even game, but I think the player ratings give you a sort of the full story in that we essentially dominated the game, or controlled it, if not dominated it anyway. So it was a good, solid win. If we look at what that did or does to the league table, we're back in the conversation, still 5 points back of Celtic and Aberdeen, but early days. We look at the bottom there, Rangers, 0-3. They have not won a game as of yet, and it's not like they've been getting beaten by particularly good teams. Inverness, Aberdeen and Hibs, not the easiest, but certainly you'd expect them to get at least, 4 points from that, you would think. A win at home and then a point, at least one of those games on the road. But anyway, that's not our problem. That is definitely a Rangers problem. So let's have a look. We know what to roughly expect from them after having just played them. Not much. Essentially was the answer, isn't it? But there we go. That's how they played against us last time in their humiliation at Tynecastle. Let's see what we can do, though, on the road in Croatia. This is the team that we are sending out, and you will notice that it is essentially all change. So we'll get to have a look at some different players here. It's Hazard in goal. Now, he is, of course, our backup goalkeeper, Connor Hazard. Solid enough. He's a Northern Ireland international, so we'll see how he goes. We're going to stick with Taylor at left back. We played Mitchell in the Hibs game. So we'll stick with Taylor, Herring, Proctor and Usi Tutu as the back four. Smalley will continue because he only really plays in Europe, so we want to keep him match sharp where we can. Hickey and Irving go in midfield. McDonald and Henderson down the wings. Innes Cameron up top. And we'll see how we go. Now, I just want to quickly show you too, Inaki Dominguez. He's now worth 3.3 million as a Real Madrid player. The good thing of that is that it means that we sold him for 5, so we sold him for more than he was potentially worth. So that's good. It sort of shows that, we got a good deal out of it, which is, let me know what you think in the comments, but, we sold him for more than he ended up being worth. Now, they've changed things up here a little bit, which is interesting. Not sure they're going to beat us 7-0, but you never know. What do we say to this? First leg means nothing. First leg means nothing. Go out there, make sure you win this one. Some calm, we have faith, and let's get out there and see what we can do here. It'll be interesting to see if they're obviously changing formation will have an impact. We've obviously completely changed up our team as well, with the exception of Taylor and Smalley. So we'll see how we go here. Transfer window is coming to a close. I think there's about just under a week to go. I'm not really expecting to do anything at this point. We're pretty much at our wage budget anyway, so I don't want to go over it. We have the transfer money that we can sort of change it. We can put transfer budget into wages. So that's, if we had to, we can do that. As far the level that we're at, and as far as this season goes, I'm pretty happy with what we have. We're not going to get in any sort of world. Oh, what has happened there? I tell you what, Innes Cameron gets the goal. The goalkeeper's had an absolute nightmare. That's the away goal cancelled out. It's 9-1 on aggregate. And just roll on, boys. Roll on. We'll say demand more because it is a sort of different game. But Hickey with a nice ball out there to find Taylor. Taylor, it was a nothing cross. And the goalkeeper has just had an absolute nightmare. And Innes Cameron does not make a mistake. Third goal of the year for him. He's having a good... I think he's outscoring Uche, or they might both have 3 goals now. So that's kind of risky throw from Taylor there. Not quite sure what that's all about. Come on, boys. Come on. Let's keep our heads here. Oh, we've nicked that. It's a lumped forward ball from Andy Irving. I'm not sure it's what we want from our advanced playmaker. But, we'll see how we go. I haven't actually played him as an advanced playmaker before. We usually use him in the box-to-box role, which he's quite good at. But he can play an advanced playmaker, and that's sort of more how I want That's sort of more how we play in this formation. So I'm kind of seeing how he plays in this formation, even if it's not his best position. We're just lumping this ball forward. A bit of patience here, boys. We don't need to do this. Although they do have a high line, so maybe there is a sort of something we can do from it. I'll tell you what, we're defending quite well, though, aren't we? Every time they put it forward, just lumping it forward again. Innes Cameron's onto it this time. That's not quite as aimlessly ball forward. He's squared it. What a play by Innes Cameron. That is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Ewan Henderson gets his third of the year, and that is just absolutely stunning. The vision and the composure of Innes Cameron there. We've got a very, very special player in our hands here, I think. He's potentially a 4 or 5 star player. He's the new Uche, and look at that for composure. Just takes 2 players completely out of the game. Henderson did okay too, wasn't it? A good finish. Took a touch, took his time, and then made no mistake. It's 2-0. It's 10-0 on aggregate. How far can we go in the Europa League this year? A lot of it's going to depend on who we get in the group, of course. So I am looking forward to that. But the way we're going, I'd like to think we can get out of the group this year. I really would like to think that. We'll demand more here. We don't want to clock off here too much. We do have players on the bench we can give some game time to here as well. We have the youngster Kane. I say it was Mark Kane. I can't remember what his first name is now. So we might look to give him a game in the second half in place of... who's down the right? McDonald, isn't it? So we might look to give him a game. Here goes Henderson again. Henderson! Oh, that's stunning! Ewan Henderson, 4th goal of the season. And that is an absolute thunderbastard into the roof of the net. That is a stunning, stunning goal. I wouldn't mind seeing this from behind. Did he get any bend on this as well? I fancy he may have brought it in from sort of outside the post here and bent it in. Let's have another look. Let's have another look. Oh, it's just a rocket. It's just an absolute rocket straight into the top corner. Ewan Henderson, take a bow. Not bad for a youngster, is it? Again, he's another one of these players that's potentially really, really good. So we want to try and make sure we're giving them some game time. But I tell you what, 3-0 in Croatia. We are absolutely smashing them to pieces here. What a performance from the team. What do we say? It's just got to be, I tell you what, just a passionate enjoy it, boys. Just enjoy it. They're not scoring 12 goals in the second half, so just enjoy it. Now, what we might do here, actually, we'll let second half get underway. We will bring on a couple of the real youngsters we have on the bench to try and give them some game time. I did have the other young striker on the bench. What's his name? McNeil, whatever his name is. But I decided he was a little bit match fatigued from playing in the youth team, so I decided against bringing him into the team. So let's give Mark Kane a run out here for McDonald, who's done fine. And let's give the 2 young fullbacks a game as well, so you can have a look at them. McIntosh and, of course, Kieran Lang. A little bit harsh on on Hamilton and Fitzgerald, who I would have liked to have given some game time to. Hamilton might be going out on loan. It's certainly looking that way. He wants to go out on loan, and there is some interest in him, so we'll probably look to do that just to try and keep him developing. I don't think he's going to play too much this year with Dominguez still at the club, but he could be one for next year that we could use as a backup. Oh, you can see what was trying to happen there. Just couldn't quite get to it. Yarrow is in here. Can we get a block in? No, we cannot. And that is 3-1 on the night. 11-2 on aggregate. Not the best effort there for Connor Hazard in goal. I would have liked to have thought he'd do a little bit better to try and keep his clean sheet. But it was a good effort. Who's getting back? It was Lang, the youngster. He was just a bit too good for him, wasn't he? We'll demand a little bit more there. But it's not the worst thing, is it? Well, come on, boys. We don't want to completely fall asleep here second half. Over the bar, so that's okay. We'll give them some more praise here. We're looking a little bit pressurised and whatnot. So essentially we're doing really well. So there's no need to panic here. Yeah, I mean, we're winning. We're comfortable on the night. Aggregate is just absolutely nothing to worry about. We'll just keep praising them all the way through to the finish line here. What we don't want is Smalley getting himself sent off, because that would mean losing him for the first group game. We do have Herring and a couple of others that can sort of slot in there, but he's sort of the natural in the role. So if I could take him off, make a sub, I would definitely be doing that. Decent ball in. Herring is offside. Was the Innes Cameron flick going on target anyway? I don't know if we'll get a replay. We will. I'm just curious to see if the Innes Cameron, he's got a nice flick on it. We're not going to see it, are we? There's probably defenders there that would have got to it, so that's fair enough. A little bit more praise coming in, and I tell you what, as far as the European performance on the road goes, that's almost as good as the one against Borussia Dortmund, isn't it? Just the one moment, really, that we got caught out and they scored, but otherwise, we look a really, really decent team. Now, like I say, we did do this last year in qualifying, and then we got into the group stage, and we didn't really perform. I was a little bit disappointed last year's group stage, but it was a learning experience, I think, and we did learn. I think we set up better for this year with the DM in there, but there we go. What a performance! What a tie! That is really, really special. I didn't expect that, I've got to say, when we got the draw there. So let's move on and see who we get in the group. First leg triumph helps. Just a small help. So there we go. We've got some money in the bank. Ewan Henderson, that second goal from Ewan Henderson, that was absolutely stunning, wasn't it? Some more money in the bank. That's going to help the finances. That will almost certainly now mean that we'll be able to pay for all the training facility upgrades at the end of the season. So that's good. Guys, wait right there. We'll see who we get in the group stage right now. Alright, here we go for the group stage draw. We are seeded 4th yet again, which is a little bit disappointing, but I mean, it's not really surprising, I guess. How are we looking on coefficient points? So we're a little ways away, aren't we, from getting out of pot 4. So there we go. That's okay, though. Let's see. So I'll just click draw next team till we get to our thing, because it's going to take forever otherwise, and I'm conscious that having scored so many goals this episode is going to be going on a little bit longer here. So it's going to depend on the group, isn't it? Now I'm just looking here. Besiktas is a first seed. Copenhagen is a first seed. Though Schalke would be tough, though we beat Schalke pre-season. So there we go. If I'm looking at this already, I'm looking at Group I would not be too bad. Group E wouldn't be too bad. Group B would be a dream, wouldn't it? Group D would be okay. You kind of want to avoid the English teams, it looks like, so far as your first seeds, and maybe the Italian teams as well. Group D still looks good with Karabag, who we of course beat last year, didn't we? And Group I. Group I is the dream, really. Group A, Group B's kind of been ruined a little bit. But let's see here. Let's see who we get. Let's sit back, see who we get. It's not Group A. Group B we take. Group C I'd rather avoid. We do avoid it. Group D I'd take. It's not us in Group D. Group E I'd love it. Oh, we can't because Aberdeen's in there. Oh, those bastards. Can't get that one. This is tough. Oh, it's tough again. It's Porto, it's Fenerbahce, and it's Sampdoria. There are definitely... Why didn't we get Rangers group? Oh, that's annoying. That's really annoying. So there it is. Porto, Fenerbahce, and Sampdoria. Let me know what you think in the comments. That is not the easiest. Yeah, it's not the easiest. Could we beat... Yeah. The one thing maybe that works in our favour is that it's an even group. So I would think the other 3 teams would probably take points off each other. So if we win our home games, we might be a chance. But that is a really, really tough group, I think. But anyway, we will be back tomorrow, and we will get our campaign in Europe underway away to Sampdoria. So it's probably one of the tougher ones up first. Let me know what you think. I'm just a little bit disappointed we got such a tough group. But we got past Mönchengladbach. There's no one there that's, in theory, better than them. So we'll see how we do, won't we? So that's all for tomorrow. Then we might even do Hamilton as well, since they're a bit of a bogey team of ours at home in the league. But that's all for tomorrow, as I say, guys. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.